Amanda, what do you say? Let's get this party started and call this meeting to order.
Okay, after the bell rings, I'm muting everybody, so unmute yourself.
Okay, thanks for the warning.
You're welcome.
All right, here again to lead us through the invocation, pledge of allegiance, and to recite the four-way test is our own Dr. Mike Loudon. Dr. Mike is a retired minister of the First Presbyterian Church. He's a member of this club for 21 years, also Rotary in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and Lincoln, Nebraska, and he is a past president for Rotary. Dr. Mike, would you lead us in the invocation, please?
Thank you, President Joel. Let us pray. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal home. We give you thanks for guiding and encouraging us, for protecting and providing for us, and for Rotary and our mission of serving one another, those in need, and upbuilding our community and bettering our world. Today, we thank you also for the incredible asset Publix is to this city, and also to our state and to all of our lives. Thank you for their thousands of associates who positively impact us and make shopping a pleasure. In thy name we pray. Amen. Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much, sir. And I fully expected you to pray for a hole-in-one, but so you must be kind of slacking. Thank you, Dr. Mike. It's always a pleasure. Trey, our board secretary, would you help us with the introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians?
Absolutely. And then we have the visiting Rotarians, Doug McCall and Christina Spencer. Do we have any other visiting Rotarians today? And I know, but we also have John Lout as a visitor. And do we have any other visitors today?
Trey, this is Don Selvage. I have the honor today of two guests. Carol Hornsby, who's driving from Lake Wales to Lakeland, so I don't know if she's on video or audio, but she has been accepted to Rotary Information, so please welcome Carol again. Carol, can you say a few words? Are you out there? Okay. And my second guest, who's already introduced himself, is John Lout. John was one of our members some years ago, one of my favorite Rotarians, a great sense of humor and added a lot to our club. And so when I saw him at the Springfield Suite Hotel over by the RP Funding Center, I had to invite John to join us again. He graciously agreed. He's the general manager of that new hotel there by RP Funding Center. Let me say that I just attended a conference there, was very well done, thanks to John and his staff. Social distancing, they've got the technical support. So please join me, though, in welcoming John. John, do you have anything to say to us?
Thank you so very much. And I promise I'm still trying to turn on my camera. I haven't figured it out yet. I don't know why. Such a pleasure to be back at Rotary, where, oh my gosh, it's been a few years since I left, and I have certainly missed my Rotary family. And it's a pleasure to be back, and I look forward to meeting everybody in person once this pandemic thing is over. And I can't say enough about Rotary and what we do, and I always appreciated what we did. And I know we have continued to do great things, and I look forward to being a part in what we do.
Hey, John, move that there's a little dial on top of your screen. Move it to the left.
Okay. I don't know that I see it.
And do we have any other guests or visiting Rotarians today?
Yes. Hi, Trey. This is Gwen Allen. I have on the line with us today Ed Young. He's going on his second year executive director at the Aerospace Center for Excellence. He's also a fellow Leadership Lakeland classmate who I had the honor to get to know. Hi, Melody. And I think he's on the line now. Ed, are you there? Make sure you unmute yourself.
I am unmuted. Hi there, I'm here.
Wonderful. Would you like to greet the people?
Well, hello everybody, and I was a Rotarian at Ellenburg, and nice to be invited back to hang out with you guys for today. And like everyone else, this is all over because it's wonderful. For the year station of Rexington, we're used to having about 40,000 kids that generation standing here. This year is not been that year. So, like I said, thank you very much for the invitation, and I look forward to being here.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for being here.
And do we have any other visiting Rotarians or guests today? Okay, well, welcome to everyone.
All right. Thank you, Trey. Welcome, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the program today. And John, just for the record, Don Selvage has about 198 favorite Rotarians. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's move into happy dollars. Does anybody have any happy dollars they want to talk about today? Please unmute yourself and speak up.
Rick Maxey here.
All right, Rick.
My wife is now the president of Kiwanis of Lakeland. So I'm happy about that, and I'll be tossing in a bunch of money for that one.
Rick, I understand that that's the largest Kiwanis club in Florida. Is that right?
That's what I'm told, sir.
That's what I was told too. Very good. Congratulations to Jackie. That's awesome. Any other happy dollars?
I do. Tammy at Magnolia Montessori.
Hey, Tammy.
Hey. So we have been in the process of trying to acquire a new building for Magnolia to move to for quite some time. It's been my ongoing project, and last Thursday night we signed. So we are now the proud owners of 815 Central Avenue. It's a 24,000 square feet of space to be renovated, and we hope to move next summer. So we're very excited. We're in the opportunity zone. We're close to the Bonnet Springs Park. We think we're going to be a real asset to the neighborhood and to the kids there. And yeah, we're just really excited to get started. And
That's
I'll be
awesome.
doing tours. I'll be doing tours in a couple weeks if anybody wants to come see. Once we get some space cleaned out.
Yeah, send us some email to Beth and I, and we can alert the members if anybody wants to come by and take a look at it, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Congratulations, Tammy. Thank you. Gwen, did you have one?
I do. Thanks for asking. You must have seen it in my face. I wanted to say that I'm happy to see Josie Hill on the call today. Her husband has served our country now on a duty assignment away, and so she's back. I don't know for how long, but I'm just excited to see her and want to welcome her back. So good to see you, Josie.
Thank you, Gwen. I'm back permanently.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's great news, Josie. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Any other happy dollars?
I have a happy dollar. It's Melody.
Hey, Melody.
I have 5 happy dollars. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who came out to our Yard on the Mass function. It was just really, really nice to be outside, and it was just a beautiful night, and it was just really nice to spend time with everyone. So thank you.
That was a neat event. Thank you for participating and helping get that set up. Did you have more? I'm sorry.
Nope, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, this is Brock. This is
Hey, Brock.
Brock. I have one happy dollar. Well, I should be a lot more than that. My sister made it out of the hospital with COVID, and so she's back and she's able to talk for the first time. And so that's really happy.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Brock. Glad to hear that. Any other happy dollars?
President
All
Joel,
right.
this is Michelle Ledford.
Hey, Michelle.
One real quick, because I forgot to mention it last week, but our youngest child, our daughter Tristan, is officially on the road. She got her driver's license a couple of weeks ago. So a lot of anxiety and her being all over the place, but last one on the road.
Is that a warning or is that happiness?
Both, maybe.
Excellent. Excellent. That's progress. Any other happy dollars, then? All right, let's move into announcements. I want to start with.
I'm sorry. May I? I apologize.
Yes.
All right. So, in honor of coming back here and seeing all my friends, I just saw Brock Self. And how about 50 happy dollars?
All right.
And I'll find some way to get it to y'all.
You can make a personal check payable to me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, we'll hunt you down, John. We know where you work.
That's right.
Fantastic. Thank you. So in the announcements, I wanted to chastise Don Selvage a little bit. We're going to start calling him a rerun because he just keeps coming back for more tours of duty. Don has agreed to serve another interim term on the city commission to fill Scott's vacancy starting in January, Scott Franklin. So Don, thank you for always being willing to serve the public. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel.
Do you want to make any stump speeches or anything? This is your one opportunity.
No, I've probably said more than enough over the years. I'm just honored to be selected and glad to serve.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Trey or Jack, you want to talk about the golf tournament?
Sure. We are about 2.5 weeks out from the golf tournament. And I want to remind anyone that is sponsoring a team, if you haven't provided me with the names of your players and their shirt sizes, if you could get that to me as soon as possible. The tournament is to benefit Feeding Tampa Bay, as well as to help us buy the AEDs for the LPD. We have a few spots left, maybe only 2 teams left available, but we do have dinner tickets available for $50 a piece, and you can get those at on Club Runner. There's a site there. We also have a place to buy a shirt on Club Runner if you would like to do that. There's a link on Club Runner for that. But we're looking forward to a great event. Say 1 o'clock shotgun start, followed by dinner and the silent auction. So we hope that everyone can come. Oh, and Jack wanted me to also announce that the dinner will be the next Rotary Fellowship event too. So everyone keep that in mind, and we hope that you can make it.
Very good. Thank you, Trey. It's awesome that we just about got the whole slate lined up for this golf tournament. So thanks to everybody that's participating in that. Stacy Williams, are you with us today? You want to talk about World Polio Day?
I sure will. Thank you very much, President Joel. Just to let you know that World Polio Day is coming up this month. We will have the proclamation at the City of Lakeland on the 19th, which is a Monday. I believe it's at 3 o'clock. Stay tuned. I will let you know more. Also, we have an event coming up on the 24th, and that's a Zoom link, and I will send that to you. That's a Saturday. If you have your red shirts, if you do come to the proclamation at the City of Lakeland, we ask that you wear your red shirt from last year. If you don't have the shirt, Gwen does have a few if you would like to get into contact with her. If not, just wear red. But we would love to have a great showing from our club. Thank you, President Joel.
All right, Stacy, thank you. And thank you for working with Gwen and everyone else for taking this on. Next up is our Veterans Day. Don or Gary. Don, would you like to take this one?
I don't see Gary here. So I'll take this. As you all know, I announced last week that our Veterans Salute breakfast was canceled out of Heritage Baptist Church, and we've combined the salute to veterans with the Veterans Memorial ceremony, Veterans Day ceremony, the following day. And so we'll be making our annual salute to the veterans, and then we'll also unveil and dedicate a monument to the Desert Storm Polk County better. So please put down on your calendars 10 o'clock. This will be outdoors and socially distanced, so I hope you can make it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Don. If anybody has not actually been out to Veterans Memorial Park, that is really getting to be quite an attraction, and all the memorials and monuments and stuff we've been able to get out there is quite a thing. So please try to make it if you can. Any other announcements? All right. Hearing none, we'll move into the program. This is going to be introduced by our own Kim Brunson. Kim is the Business Relationship Manager with Publix. She's on the board of directors. She is our program chair. She probably personally twisted Brian's arm to get him to come today. I could only hope that you did anyway. And she's also a 7-year Rotarian. Kim, would you like to do the introduction, please?
Thank you, President Joel. It's my honor and pleasure to introduce Brian West. Brian is a third-generation citizen and lifelong resident of Plant City. He graduated from Plant City High and Florida Southern College, where he earned a bachelor's degree in human resource management with a minor in finance. Brian began his career with Publix supermarkets in 1991, working in the deli kitchen, which is one of our manufacturing facilities. After serving in several different roles in both production and support, he was promoted to Human Resource Department, where he spent almost 10 years as an Associate Relations Specialist. He is currently the Media and Community Relations Manager, covering 17 counties in Central and Southwest Florida. Brian is currently serving as board member for the Lakeland Chamber of Commerce, board member for the East Hillsborough Law Enforcement Appreciation Association, executive board member for the Gerald McCoy's Patricia Diane Foundation, and associate director for the Florida Strawberry Festival. He also served as past zone chair and president for Plant City Lions Club, board member emeritus for United Food Bank of Florida, of Plant City, and board member of VISTI, and past chair for Greater Plant City Chamber of Commerce. Brian's wife, Jennifer, is the supervisor for Gifted in Hillsborough County Schools. They've been married for more than 22 years and have 3 beautiful children. It pains me to tell you that Elizabeth is 16 now, Elijah 13, and Emery is 9. I have no idea where all these years go, but please help me welcome Brian West. Brian? Brian, you're on mute.
Haha, Brian, it wasn't me this time.
Is it me? Is that better?
That's better.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for having me today. This is going to be weird for me, being a presenter and not being able to hear my audience. So bear with me as I try to struggle through this. And I can't say that I've done one of these yet over Zoom. Had lots of Zoom meetings, but this is definitely my first Zoom presentation. To get us started, I have to mention that this morning I woke up watching Fox 13 live down at Lake Morton as they were doing the Swan Roundup this year. And as I'm watching the boat kind of tool around the lake, realizing it's all these city employees, my first thought was, well, where's Joel Ivey? Why isn't he out there driving the boat? And then it hit me. Oh, they know he can't drive a boat. So anyway, they must have heard those same stories Joel has shared with us at Leadership Lakeland.
And in conclusion.
Oh, goodness. So let's see. 2020 has definitely been a different year. I think we can all agree on that. It's been different for Publix as well. When we last saw you in November of last year, we were getting ready to open our Greenwise store on the south side of town. We had this huge, successful opening for the store, And then shortly after, the world kind of turned upside down. And it's been a strange ride ever since then. When we left you last year, we had 1,251 stores. Today, we have 1,253. We're about to open another one this week. The impact of COVID to Publix did kind of slow our growth a little bit, but a lot of that is also the result of us closing stores from time to time. You know, when you've been had what do you call brick and mortar locations in place for several years, at some point they become tired old structures, and you have to close them and then rebuild them, much like Grove Park last year. So a lot of the reason that you're not seeing the net growth to this point in time is because a lot of the stores that we've opened so far have been replacements. One of those in 2020 was Plantation that we opened in June. How many of you have seen the Plantation store? Show of hands. Nobody. Okay, there's one. Kim. Anyway, let's see. So we've also grown on our associate count. So this time last year, we had about 204,000 associates. And as of our August report, I have not seen a report for September yet, but as of our August report, we now have more than 224,000 associates. So in a year, we've grown by 20,000 plus associates, which is incredible. And a lot of that is due directly to what we've seen with COVID. In fact, I would tell you that probably most of those 20,000 folks were trying to help us get toilet paper back on the shelves at our stores. If any of you might have experienced that shortage. So it wasn't Joel Ivy's fault. So sales have been good at Publix, but it has also been a very real struggle for our associates and our managers. You know, it's a strange time. As much as we watch television and we see that our country, you know, we can't agree on anything. And if you don't agree with us, then we're upset with you about not agreeing with us. We're experiencing the same thing in the store. We are really struggling to keep our customers happy. We've got customers that are happy that we're requiring masks. We've got customers that are upset that we're requiring masks. We've got customers that are happy that we removed the aisle markers or aisle directional arrows. We've got customers that are upset with us about it. That's all that we're seeing is both ends of the spectrum. There almost seems to be no happy medium in the middle anymore these days. So it's definitely been a struggle for us. If I were going to ask of you anything, I would say try to be kind to our associates. They're having a tough time. So, and you know, they're almost like first responders in a sense. You know, they're trying to make shopping a pleasure for our customers. And we know that people have bad days, but they are definitely catching up on a daily basis. So anyway, we had talked earlier, before everybody got on the call, I had asked someone if they could keep a count of the number of folks that we have online today for the meeting. Does anybody have that number?
I have it at 79, Brian.
79. Okay, so I know that normally when we meet in person, the crowds are much bigger. And one of the things that we look forward to coming to the Lakeland Rotary meeting is bringing everybody ice cream. You know, that is a highlight for us just as much as it is for you. So because we can't be there with you today, for at least the 79 that are there in attendance, thank you, Joel. Look at that. Look at that. For at least those of you that are in attendance today, my office is going to be sending over ice cream coupons for each one of you so that you can visit your local Publix and get your favorite ice cream. How about that? Yes, yes. So that's really all that I've got to share because well, I'm sorry, I do have one other thing I can share that's kind of new. So I'm not sure whether or not you've seen this in the news, but when COVID hit in March, you know, it was a struggle for us. We're starting to get back to normal, We're still struggling, but it was really a struggle for us in March and April to be able to get product on the shelves. And a lot of the local farmers, produce specifically, were running into the same impact that we were, that sales had either gone through the roof because people were shopping at the grocery stores and buying more, or sales had hit rock bottom because folks were not going into their local restaurant, going out to eat. Those restaurants, the restaurant industry, in many cases uses completely different suppliers than we do in the grocery industry. So we tried to figure out what in the world can we do to help, realizing that there are folks that are losing their jobs, they can't eat. So we developed something called Farmers to Families. So we started buying product from farmers just to give away to those in need. So we started making donations weekly, literally by the multi-truckload weekly, to the likes of Feeding Tampa Bay, Second Harvest Food Bank in Orlando, Harry Chapin Food Bank down in Fort Myers. There's roughly 33 Feeding America, what we call partner agencies, in our 7-state footprint. And we've been working directly with them, coordinating weekly loads. So as of last week, I don't have this week's numbers yet, but as of last week, we had surpassed 12 million pounds of product donated. So good stuff. So if you haven't heard about that, that's something that we've been trying to do to help. So at this point, that's all I've got, and I'll open it up for questions if anybody has anything.
Brian, if you don't mind, I kind of monitor the chat room and collect the questions so that you don't have to worry about that, and we don't have to unmute everybody's microphones.
Sure.
Okay, so first of all, there's a question about, are meat packing companies still closed throughout the country, and has that been a shortage or a problem?
So good question. So there are multiple meat suppliers in the country. And when you see in the news that a meat supplier has closed, just know that they're not the only meat supplier. Sometimes a supplier closing or running into other issues has an impact on Publix, and other times it doesn't. So far, the meat suppliers that have been reported in the news as closing are ones that have not had an impact to Publix. And those that did close, for the most part, at least the few that we've seen, they were due to employees at those locations coming down with COVID and impacting their production abilities.
Thank you. Now I have a message from our friend Christine Spencer, who's in England. And she just wants you to know that she loves the delicious Publix ice cream she had last year when she was with us. And if you will open in Northwest England near Liverpool, she would be very grateful so she could have some more good ice cream.
Awesome. I can't wait till that day, and I hope I'm around to see it.
Okay, another question is, we heard all stores hired additional people to get folks back to work and help with the extra volume. How many Publix did hire locally, and are they still working?
Ooh, so I don't have that number in front of me, but I can tell you, yeah, unless somebody has quit their job or moved on, yes, they're very much still working. So our business spiked quite a bit in March, April, May, June. It's starting to level off a little bit. We're not really seeing the spike, but we're retaining still, even with restaurants opening, we're retaining an enormous chunk of that business. What we believe is happening is that folks have realized, okay, as much as I hated not being able to have the flexibility of going out to eat anytime I wanted in any place that I wanted and the way that I was used to going out to eat, I'm really enjoying saving some money. And I've learned how to cook some things at the house. So people have just kind of shifted their buying habits. And we're expecting that we're going to continue to retain a chunk of that business.
Okay.
Brian, this is Dean Hart. How you doing? Question, you normally present new exotic flavors of ice cream at this meeting. Has Publix come out with any new flavors lately?
Dean, I honestly have not had any conversation with anybody over the dairy because of all of this. I'll tell you, from our perspective, from community relations, we have really kind of sat back and tried not to reach out to our sister departments and just ask them questions just for the sake of knowing things, because of the impact that COVID has had on their business. We're not doing tours at the dairy plant. The impact has so many far-reaching tentacles that we're just trying to think before we do anything and not interrupt what somebody might be able to or might already be working on. So I just don't know at this point. But I will chase that down after the meeting, and I can send that to someone to share with the group.
Okay.
Okay, thank God. Up here in Asheville, they're doing a great job taking care of their customers at Publix.
Great. And I'm sure the weather's much better too.
Thanks, Dean. I have two related questions that are, what changes have you made in response to COVID that you think you're going to be keeping in place long term? And are you going to anticipating any changes in store design for the future to accommodate online delivery, Instacart, customer pickup in the parking lot, that kind of delivery service?
Sure. So on the retail side, I would say that fortunately for us, we were already trending in that direction, trying to expand our abilities with Instacart. So many of our stores, not all, but many of our stores are set up with what's called Instacart staging, so that we can have a team of associates shopping the store for those Instacart orders. And then the items that still need to be refrigerated, we can place them in temporary refrigerators or freezers in front of the store, but the order is basically held there until it's ready to be picked up. So that continues to expand. If you didn't notice, when all of this started, again, March, April, June, we were so incredibly backed up with Instacart. We had folks from corporate literally coming to the stores and shopping orders just to try to help us keep up. Today, we actually advertise that when someone places an online order, that we're going to do everything we can to have it to them within 2 hours, which is considerably longer than what our original target was. Again, we're building in that direction. We want to always bring those times down and make it even more convenient and quicker, all those things. So I think that fortunately was already in place. And if anything, I'm pretty impressed that we were able to continue down that path and almost make it seamless. Not quite seamless, but close. Aside from that, the only other thing that I can think off the top of my head that really has a question mark over it is what we call sidewalk solicitation. So if you go to our stores, well, in fact, I know that many of you volunteer every year to ring the bell for Salvation Army on our sidewalks. That is what we call sidewalk solicitation. So where some organization is standing on our sidewalk and they are soliciting our customers to make a donation to the organization. But in that group of folks, it's not just Salvation Army, it's the Girl Scouts, it's the Boy Scouts, it's youth football and baseball and basketball and soccer, and it's all kinds of folks that like to be on our sidewalks. In addition, we have folks like One Blood that want to come out and solicit for blood donations from our parking lots. When all of this started in March, we immediately put a pause on all of that, because when we have those activities going on at the store, it creates a crowd or congestions. It makes it more difficult for people to stay distanced from one another. So we've honestly been concerned for the last few months. It's a little easier to tell the local football team, hey, we just can't have you right now. But when you're dealing with an organization as large as Salvation Army, that's a much more difficult pill to swallow. I'm pleased to share that just in the last 2 weeks, we've finally made a decision on that, and we are going to allow Salvation Army to be on our sidewalks, which is great. But at the same time, we have not opened that up for everyone else. So we don't know what that looks like moving forward. So everything is really a big question mark right now.
Well, that answer was a really great segue into a couple of accolades that you've gotten in the chat box. And one was from Captain Jeremy Maccabee, just thanking Publix for its wonderful support for the Red Kettle National campaign in the past and in this year as well. Also want you to know that Pamela Craven thanks you for the Farmers to Families support, and what a blessing it's been to children in our community. And somebody else, Martha Liu, thank you for the delivery service, because it's really been a blessing for those that really shouldn't be out in the stores because they're high risk. So there are two other questions, I think, and then maybe we'll just cut it off there. One is, do you anticipate continuing the mask policy in the stores? And do you have any foresight in when that might change? And can you describe any other supply chain disruptions that Publix has experienced as a result of COVID?
Sure. So, all right. So the mask first. Brian, if I'm rolling the dice, I think it's going to go away at some point. I don't know when that is, if it's going to happen. I can tell you that those decisions are being made literally daily, weekly in some cases. But we're also watching, what's the CDC saying? What's the governor saying? What's the president saying? What are our competitors doing? So we're trying to keep our eye on the ball to see what's happening in the industry across the board. We're trying to be mindful of not only our associates, but also our customers. And that's definitely a tough one. It's also controversial. So we'll see. Supply chain disruption. Yeah, so that also is interesting. So for the first time in our history, at least that I'm aware of, we are literally opening brand new stores with blank spots on the shelves. We're going to open a store in Waimama this coming Thursday, Highway 301, and I know definitively whenever I step into that store for the first time and see the shelves stocked, the shelves will be stocked, but there will be items here and there that we just don't have. It has definitely created some issues for our buyers. It's definitely become a challenge for them. What's happening is you've got some suppliers that they just can't get product to make their product. You've got suppliers that have gone out of business, and we're in the process of basically reworking what we call the planogram that says where we're going to place products on the shelf. You've got other suppliers, go back to toilet paper, where before a toilet paper supplier may have had 10 different items that they were offering. Well, now maybe they're offering one or two just to help them with manufacturing so that they're not spending so much time in what's called changeover, where you're moving from one product that you're making to another. You have to make adjustments in the manufacturing process. So they're just keeping the line set up for one or two products so that they can churn out more product. So you're seeing all kinds of things happen with the supply chain. Who knows how this is going to shake out in the end? We're trying to ride and manage and the best that we can, and trying to supply everything we can for our customers.
Brian, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure whenever we're shopping also, but it's always a pleasure for you to come and address this crowd, mainly because you bring ice cream with you. And so I'm really despondent that you didn't this time, but one of the things that we challenged our members to do was to go out and get one of the 12 limited edition ice creams that have come out. And so we wanted to take about 5 minutes or 10 minutes and try to take a poll. Amanda, are we ready to try to put that forward? The purpose of the poll is to have all the members choose their favorite out of the 12 new ice creams. So you had mentioned that you would get us a list of those. Well, you don't have to, because we should have that right now.
Okay, good.
Hey, Beth, it logged me out as the host. Are you currently logged in as the host?
I do not know.
You click down at the bottom, there's the more menu, and you can run the polls from there.
Brian, what are you holding in your hands? I'm not trusting that.
Well, can you hear me still?
I'm co-host, your host.
Okay, so not everybody was on the email chain, but Joel was kidding me a little bit about some stock certificates, and I just wanted to tease him a little, to hold some in my hands and say, these are real stock certificates, but Joel, you're not getting any.
Come on, man. Where is the love?
But I've also got someone here with me that y'all have not seen in quite a while, and I figured since I had him with me, I should drag him into the picture. Everybody want to say hello to Mr. George?
Mr. George, how you doing?
So there you go.
Oh, Mr. George.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Amanda, is the poll going to work, or we want to just move on?
I don't know. It's telling me that my polling session is inactive, and I don't know how to fix that. Is there anybody on the call that knows how to fix it? Beth, can you run the poll, or is it not working for you either?
It's not working for me either. That's what I've been sitting here trying to get.
All right, let's don't worry about it, y'all. So what we were going to do is just put up a list of the 12 limited edition ice creams that have come out for the holiday season. There's some great ones. And obviously the best one is going to be the Southern Nanner Pudding. You know, it has to be that one because that's the one that I like. So anybody else that disagrees with me, I'm going to count you absent for the next month. Brian, I have this limited edition Rotary book for you that is personally autographed by yours truly.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. I mean, nobody has it. Well, okay, that's not really true, but there's only a few of these things floating around in the world. But seriously, I know everybody's time is precious, and we always love to hear what Publix is up to. I can tell you personally from my shopping experience, you wouldn't even know that there was a problem going on the way your associates were handling things. So that was very awesome to see. And you know, it's nice to know you can count on people like that to come through when they need you, we need them to. So that's very awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, Trey, you want to thank our guests and visiting Rotarians?
Sure. I'd like to thank our guests, John Lout, Carol Hornsby, and Ed Young. Thank you for coming. And our visiting Rotarians, Doug McCall and Christina Spencer.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Trey. And thanks, everybody, for coming and joining us today. Our weekly quote, this ought to be fitting, begin, the rest is easy. And guess who that's from? Our own Mr. George. All right, next week's program is Ryan Reese, or Rice. He's with the Lakeland Chamber, and he's going to talk to us about the 6 ballot amendments coming up for vote. Absent any other protests, I will say thanks, everyone, for joining us. You have a great week. Stay safe and stay healthy. This meeting is adjourned.